Once counseling will be over, then I will share with you, Akshay, all numbers. I will create separate group where from you can get all participants number.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Adesh. Good morning, Chandrasekhar. Good morning, Aditya. Good morning, Shreyas. Good morning, Kunal. Good morning, Aryan. Good morning, Ritesh. Good morning, Arnav. Okay. Good morning, Devendra. Let's recap what we have gone through. So, generally, history is being divided into two parts called prehistoric and historic. So, as far as the historic part is concerned, the prehistoric part is concerned, the history which don't have any kind of written evidences, right? So you can consider the prehistorian period is the period which is before the writing, and what was its time period. So we can consider it from the beginning, right? Particularly from 30 lakh years BC to 600 years BC, right? So that period is called prehistoric, and the historic period is considered as the history the historic period, the period which have the written evidences is considered as the historic period. So you can consider it after writing, right? So after writing, this particular period has been started, and its duration is from 600 BC till date. And altogether, these two, the prehistoric and historic periods, are known as the bipartite division. So the bipartite division of the history is as the prehistoric, and the second is the historic one. Later on, a tripartite division have been considered, right? So the two parts of this tripartite division are exactly same as two-partite, right? Sorry, as the bipartite division, right? For example, the prehistoric period and the historic period. The middle one, which is called proto-historic period, that had been added in the tripartite division. So the written evidences which were available but not deciphered, not coded, decoded, right? So that kind of thing is considered in the proto-historic period. So some other evidences which were not confirmed by archaeological evidences, right? So evidences were there but not confirmed or not deciphered. So that time period is called as the proto-historic period, right? Examples, you can consider the Indus civilization or the Vedic culture, and its time period is from 2500 BC to 600. Then later on again, chronologically, a tripartite division which is being used as far as the history is concerned. So according to this, the history is being divided into three different sections or three different divisions called ancient history, medieval history, and modern history. So the German historian Christoph Cellarius have given this kind of chronological tripartite division, and accordingly you will be having now the ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, and the modern Indian history, right? So we have just tried to look into what could be the ancient Indian history. So it is from its period is from the beginning to 647 AD, right? And it consists of different periods. As the prehistoric period from 30 lakh BC to 600 BC, Indus civilization, Vedic culture, Mahajanpadas period, Maurya period, then Gupta period. In between Maurya period and Gupta period, there was a post-Mauryan or the pre-Gupta period, right? Then post-Gupta period. So these were the different things. Second thing we have considered is medieval Indian history, right? Which has the duration from 647 AD to 1757 AD, right? And in this consists of the early medieval period and the Sultanate period or the Mughal period. And later on, we have gone for the modern period of India or the modern Indian history. So we started from 1757. So you can consider till date. Fine. So in this case, we have three different things. Very first one is the stages of British colonialism. Right? Then British policy towards the native states and the national movement you can consider in. Further, we have gone for the historical sources. Why we should believe on these things, right? So there are some sources which are called historical sources. Basically, they are of two types, right? Literary sources and some second time is called archaeological, right? Further, literary sources is being divided into two types called indigenous sources and the foreign sources. Further, if you consider the indigenous sources, right, which are being having its two kinds: religious indigenous sources and secular indigenous sources. The religious sources are further classified as Hindu text, Buddhist text, Jain text, whereas secular indigenous sources being categorized as historical text, semi-historical text, and biographical text. Right. So this is what we can consider about the sources for history. Now see, in between these, I have gone for one more kind of thing. Right? Those who were present, they know about it. I will not repeat it. Right? I don't know what had happened at that time. So there are some tricks which you can always get through the consistent attendance. Right? Not only these, whether you wanted to do at your own, you should again have certain kind of consistency, right? So that would be the always case which you will be considering as far as the preparations are concerned. And as I said, right, so preparations of history will not give you only the marks in your written, right? But you have to also you will be also getting a boost, or the confidence will be enhanced, right? So whenever you will be considering for the interview, right? So I always said that, see the gap, as far as the gap I'm looking, right, it is not only for your written exam, right? See, day by day you are also inching towards the cracking of SSB, right? Only thing is that once you have everything, you will be later on groomed, right, within a short period. But if you don't have anything with you, right, then what we should groom, right? So that is the case you will be always considering. Fine, yes. So that's what you can always consider in. Fine. So I think I have reached to this point. Fine. So here, you are having overview, right, of how to do the studies for history, right? And see, not only history, but for it is validated for each and everything, that instead of doing, right, instead of what to do, you should always understand what should not be done, right? So that is very important thing you will be always considering. Fine. Anyway, so indigenous things, right? So if you have historical sources, first is literary source, right? Second, we have to consider. Then here you will be having its two different types, indigenous and foreign. Further, indigenous is considered into two things, the two types called religious and secular. And then religious is further divided into Hindu text, Buddhist text, and Jain text, right? So if you consider in this case, or particularly in Hindu text, as I said, right? So what could be the Hindu text, right, which are giving you as, or which is being acted as the source of the history, right? Or you can consider them as the authority for the evidences, right? So here you will be having different kinds of things, right? You know, here you have Vedas, right? You have here Vedas. Here you can have Upanishads, right? Here you can have Mahabharat, right? Or Puran, Mahabharat. Right, here you can have Ramayana, right? So here you can have the Puranas, right? So these are some of the things you can just consider in, right? We will not be going in details of these, right? But you can always consider, which will be essential. Now, some of the Buddhist text, right? Buddhist text. So what kind of Buddhist text you can have? So as far as the Buddhist texts are there, they are further considered into two things. One is into a Pali, so they are called Pali text, and second you can consider Anupali. Anupali text. Fine. So again, here you will be considering in Pali text some of the granthas called Tripitaka, Deepvansha, Mahavansha, Milind Panao, right? So these are some of the Pali texts you can consider. See, you are going to come across these things, right? Whenever you will be consider the Buddhism. So at that time, you will be coming across these things. Fine. So these are the things you will be always considering. Then third in this is the Jain text. So in Jain text, you will be having the light on the religious and social conditions through the Jain text. And the Jain texts were eventually having different kinds of things, right? So among these, you will be having 12 different angas. I will write it here. So 12 angas and upangas, right? Not only these, but also there are some other texts you can consider in this. So as like here, Vedas, Upanishads, Mahabharata, Ramayana, here there are some Pali texts, right? Their names will be different, right? Here, as like these and as like this, here in Jain text, you will be always having the angas and upangas. So these are the things you will be always considering in the religious. Now, in the next case, that is in the secular part, you will be having the historical tests, right? So in historical text, if you consider, as far as ancient India is concerned, so there are no such uh, ancient historical text you can consider, right, which are called properly called the historical text. But almost some of the texts which had been written in literary or religious color are there, you can consider. For example, if you consider Kautilya's Arthashastra, which was compiled during the Maurya period, right, in fact in the 4th century BC. So it gives only detailed information regarding the system of administration, right? And it has no idea of the social and religious life of the people. So see, any history, right? Any history, why to study and how to study the history? Fine. So in a given certain period, right? I will write it here: historical text, historical text. Fine. So in historical text, if the text okay. So fine. Historical text. Now see, as I said, you will be having two kinds of sources, right? One is the literary and another is, so forget about this one. So you have here, say, literary sources, right? And here you do have the archaeological sources, right? And by the combination of these two, here you can have the study of history. Now my question here is, you will be studying history with the help of these two kinds of sources, right? So will you study the history by year, right? Year by year, then month by month, right? Month by month, then week by week, or day by day, or hour by hour? No, right? So you will be considering among these, right, the events over a certain period, events over a certain period, making or bringing significant changes, right? So events of significant changes, only events of significant changes during that certain time period, right? Over a certain period, right? So during that certain time period, the changes which are made through some of the events, only that, right, only that will be studied. Fine. And that is what you can have the study of history. Then what these events, right? So always keep in mind, these events are always categorized into 4 different things. Very first one is administration. दिसायला गोरा गोमटा चांगली पर्सनॅलिटी आहे, right? You have a very good kind of having its importance. What you can consider different aspects or different qualities. स्वभाव कसा आहे, whether you helped others or not, right? How you were as a humankind. So likewise, the events in the history will be always studied through the point of view of administration, right? You can consider here polity as well, right? So, or polity and administration. Next one is the economy. Next one is economy, right? नाही तर गाजा वाजा करून सत्ता बनवली आणि देश खड्ड्यात घातला. सो येणाऱ्या पिढ्यात तुम्हाला चांगलं म्हणणार नाही, right? So you have disturb or destroyed, right, or collapse the economy. Then next you can consider in this the society, right? If you could not bring two societies or two parts of societies bring together, and if you could not if they could not live prosperously, right? So prosperity is also important. Otherwise, तुम लड़ो ये कह के मैं लड़ता हूँ यम कह के, so that kind of thing is not going to help, right? Or the people like the feel like the journalism, right? Or the journalist, if journalists are pointing out some of the things and if you try to shut them, right, तुम्हाला त्यांचं तोंड बंद करायचं असेल, again it is not a good kind of thing. So see, these are the societal impacts, and later on, because of these things, your culture also changes. Your culture also changes, right? तुमच्या किंवा माझ्या म्हणण्याने हे यश राष्ट्र होणार नाही, right? किंवा ह्याचं यश जाणार नाही. So it depends on. So you need not to change the culture. So every history is always being studied through these points. So whatever the time period, right, always consider. That's the reason why I have gone through that particular word, right? So that will be always talking to you in this particular case, right? So this is altogether how you can see towards the history, right? So studying history and or the purpose of studying the history, fine. And your questions will be always considered in this way, right? For example, when the first example of sati found, right? So sati's पहिलं example कधी भेटलं, in which period you have come across it, right? So earlier there was no Varna system. Varna system, right? म्हणजे काय, हा ह्या जातीचा, तो त्या जातीचा, हा तो. No. There was a time period in a single family, if you consider a family, right, which was having a doctor, right? I mean, a single family could have a Brahmin, single family could have a Kshatriya, single family could have a Vaishya and the Shudra, right? So these were the Varnas which were decided by the work you are doing. तुमच्याकडे 4 मेंबर आहे, त्याच्यातला एक ब्राह्मण असेल म्हणजे he must be a teacher. He was doing kind of job which is termed as Brahmin, right? दुसरा जो असेल तो क्षत्रिय असेल, तो लढाई करणार असेल. तिसरा जो असेल तो वैश्य असेल म्हणजे तो व्यापार करणार असेल. आणि चौथा जो असेल तो कदाचित काम करणार असेल, राईट, शेतीवर काम करणार असेल किंवा स्वच्छतेचं काम करणार असेल, त्याला शूद्र. म्हणजे एकाच घरातले, राईट, जर तुम्ही आई बाप मुलगा मुलगी किंवा आई बाप आणि 2 मुलं कन्सिडर केले, तुम्हाला हे 4ही ब्राह्मण, क्षत्रिय, वैश्य आणि शूद्र हे सगळे तुम्हाला एकाच फॅमिलीमध्ये सापडायचे. Later on, what had happened, which had completely changed down the meaning of these varnas. Okay. So that is the aspect is considering when you will be looking into history. Anyway, so our next part which we were considering, see, this is overview. We have to actually start in, right, about from a certain point. So this is about overall, right, what kind of motivation you can have at the beginning of starting studies of histories. So historical text. So here, as I said, you have a Kautilya's Arthashastra, but it is not a complete thing, right? Because it is, so, right, Kautilya's Arthashastra, right? So which tells you about the it has detailed information regarding the system of administration, but what about the social and religious life, right? That is society and culture. So it has nothing about it, right? So you can consider this as the historical text, right? But so whatever may be the ancient historical text we do have, right, though they are available but they are not complete, fine, or you can consider them, fine. So likewise there are some other texts you can consider in this one. Then semi-historical text, right? So you know there was Panini's Ashtadhyayis, which is a grammar book, Panini's book, right? But it throws sufficient light on political condition of the pre-Maurya or and the Mauryan period, right? So you can consider that particular. So semi-historical. That means what? It is dedicated only for the what you can consider political condition, right? For example, if you consider, so here semi-historical, right? See, if anything you want to study, right, and if you want to claim historical, then it must have all these aspects, right? It must have these aspects. Fine. So historical text, you have here this very good kind of thing, but it has not saying, or it hadn't said anything about these two things, right? It had like this. Then in semi-historical, you can consider only one. So here you can have a Panini's Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayi, right? So which is a grammar book, right? So you can consider it as semi-historical text. Then you know Kalidasa's Malvikangi Mitra, which is a drama book, right? So it is the first play written by him, which provides information about political condition of Shanga dynasty, right? And the previous royal dynasties before the Shanga. So it is called a mirror of interior life of the royal dynasties. But it is again a kind of thing which is not overall looking into historical things, right? So there are some of the things which you can consider as far as the semi-historical. And obviously the last one among the secular is biographical. Right. So biographical text. Here you do have biographical text. The biographical writers took the lives of their royal patrons as a theme of their literary, right? As a theme of their. There are different books, not is right. So right. Okay. Ashtadhyayi, Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayi. Fine. So that's what you can have. So biographical text. Now in biographical text, the lives of the royal patrons considered as the theme of that particular literary work, right? So the biographical text again cannot be regarded as genuine history, right? Although they contain some valuable historical information. Fine. So in biographical text, lives of royal patrons, as a theme of a literary work. So that is called biography. Right. So no doubt. To give a real picture of his life, right, of that particular time. So that's why these are called the Prashasti Kavya or eulogy verse, right? So you can consider these are called eulogy verse, right? त्याला तुम्ही प्रशस्ती काव्य असंही म्हणू शकता. ऍक्च्युली हे इंग्लिश मध्येच लिहिलेले प्रशस्ती काव्य, इंग्लिश मध्ये शब्द इंग्लिश. Fine. So this is what you can always consider about the evidences, the sources, right? So there are different things which you can always consider in. Now this is what indigenous. Now if anybody wants that, you can, otherwise I will go to the next one. लिटररी सोर्सेस लिहून ठेवलेली पुस्तकं वगैरे, राईट, लिखित किंवा साहित्य, दॅट यू कॅन कन्सिडर. आता हे लिहिलेलंच आहे, हिस्टॉरिकल जे आहे ते लिहिलेलंच आहे, राईट. जैनिझम मध्ये किंवा जैन टेक्स्ट आहेत किंवा बुद्धिस्ट टेक्स्ट आहेत, राईट, किंवा हिंदू टेक्स्ट आहेत, राईट, हे सगळे लिहिलेले आहेत ना. सो ऑल दीज आर लिटररी. सो दिस इज फर्स्ट कॅटेगरी यू कॅन कन्सिडर. किंवा एखाद्यानी वर्णन असतं ना, pre-written history. I couldn't get you a question. eulogy verse म्हणजे प्रशस्ती काव्य. आमचा राजा फार चांगला होता, भले त्यांनी किती लोकांची कत्तल केली असेल, लोकांना कधी मदत केली नसेल, पण लिहून ठेवताना, त्याचं चरित्र लिहून ठेवताना तर सगळं गोडगोडच असतं ना, छान छान, राईट. म्हणजे eulogy verse. Why? See, I'm writing purposefully such kind of terms, right? probably these kinds of terms you people are getting in your English paper, right, or in English preparation. And these are some of the terminologies which are always efficient, effective while having a kind of communication. Right? These are very, very necessary. Sometimes instead of a complete sentence, one word performs the complete task. Okay. So probably you must have finished.
No, sir, it's okay, sir. The screen is okay.
Yes, yes. Fine. So now you can go to the next one. Okay, go to the next. This is what you have considered about the indigenous, right? Now there were some of the foreign sources, right? So second, you can consider foreign sources. कौटिल्य किंवा पाणिनी हे म्हणजे भारतीयच, इथलेच नेटिव्ह. But apart from the native, some of the foreigners have written some of the other what you can consider literatures, right? They have also mentioned their views about these royal patrons or the kings of different kingdoms. So indigenous sources can be supplemented by always by the foreign sources. If you could compare both the things,